Hello, I'm JW. Today we have a plug and a socket to have a look at, and these have actually been sent in by Charles, and these were actually rescued from a skip outside a theatre, which was obviously being refurbished or whatever. And here's the plug in question. So it's got a large item there, a metal collar on it. So let's have a close look at that, and also of course the socket that this fits into. Now here's the plug. As it's a 3-pin arrangement, so a single phase. Earth, line and neutral. Someone's obviously written in there with a black pen for line and neutral. Not quite sure why you do that. And this body here is all made out of rubber, so it's all sort of one moulded piece. And of course your flex grip there. And notice the size of this hole, obviously indicative of the rating of the device. And a quick measure there. I should say it's sort of about 3/4 of an inch wide, or sort of 20 millimeters or so, and maybe an inch or 25 millimeters in the other dimension, so clearly designed for a fairly substantial sized cable. And the face of the thing, the actual round part, as you can see there, sort of outer diameter around 60 millimeters or 6 centimeters, so that's sort of about 2.5 inches or so. Now we take the front off of this, and obviously this is how you would wire the device. So these didn't come with any wiring attached, so they're just literally as they are shown here. Now, I don't actually know the age of these, and there wasn't a great deal of information I could find about them or the manufacturer, so certainly something of a mystery as to exactly the age of these. So, metal ring there with just the 3 securing screws, and notice here we've got the earth pin also goes across to the metal collar, as you would expect, so that's all connected to earth as well. That's just the rubber actual moulded part there, all in one piece. And the plug itself got 3 pins, 2 large round pins for the line and neutral, and there's the smaller one for the earth. And on the back, just got the 3 terminal holes, twin screws on each, so they're all basically the same there. And you can see here it is actually marked with the various symbols, so you've got the earth there, and 1 and 2 for the 2 other conductors. And the terminals, as well as having the 2 screws, do actually have a piece of metal on the front as well, so when those are actually tightened up, see the piece of metal will move across, so you're not actually driving the screws directly into the actual cable or the flex there. It does just push that piece of brass forward, so it just clamps in place. So both screws acting on the same piece, and all the terminals are identical. This is some kind of a plastic material, also just moulded in a single piece with the terminals and whatever put in afterwards. Now the molded rubber piece itself, so there's nothing in there other than just where the of course, cable would go through and out the bottom and just clamp down with those 2 metal bars there. And the only make on this we've got here is this symbol here, which is ML, or certainly appears to be, so M and L in a circle. And then on the other side just have the rating there, 63 or 75 amps and 500 volts AC. And other than that it's pretty much anonymous, so other than the ML there, there's no sort of indication as to the actual name of the manufacturer. Now here's the socket that it actually fits into, and again we've got that ML on the front there, and of course AC, little symbol there for water resistant or whatever. And again the same ratings on the plug, of course, 63/75 amps, 500 volts. And this is actually all metal, so a metal cover here, and it's a metal body as well. Sprung flap there, and there's your socket inside, and we've got this rubber sealing gasket all the way round, which goes over this rim here. So of course this would be designed, certainly could be used outside if you wanted. Whether this was, I presume not, because of course there's no sign of any water damage or weathering on it. And on the back here we've got yet another rubber gasket all the way round, so when this was obviously bolted into a panel or whatever, so it would form a waterproof seal there as well. And the back of the socket is actually very similar to the back of the plug we saw there, pretty much the same kind of moulding. Of course, rather than the pins in though, obviously it's got the tubes for the socket in there. And this is quite a weighty item as well, so it's made out of very good quality heavy duty metal. So we'll see if we just take this apart, and there's a single screw in the centre there, so we should be able to undo that. So it just goes into that brass piece on the back. So this is just a single piece of moulded plastic or some kind of similar material. 3 holes there, and it does have a slot on the back there, or a sort of keyway thing to fit into the appropriate place within the socket, so this will essentially only go the one way round. And the base here, we've got the socket tubes, of course the larger ones for the line and neutral, and then the small one for the earth there. And again, that back piece where the 3 terminals are is essentially identical to the other one. The only difference being that this has the hole in the centre where that fixing piece goes. Of course this one doesn't have that hole, but other than that they are pretty much identical. And you can see on the front there again, it's the exact same design, other than that hole has been punched through the centre. And notice we've got that earth tab coming across here from the earth there, and on the back there, see that it goes across again to this screw on the back. So again, the whole casing is earth there, and there's an additional fixing there for the metal ring that goes around that. So there's the plug and the socket, and of course the plug does fit in there. And notice it's got that sort of key there, so you can of course only fit it in one way, although given the lid there to be pretty obvious, you wouldn't be trying to put it in upside down. And it does fit in, and it fits in very tightly actually, so when it's actually pushed in there, that's an incredibly secure fixing. It's certainly not going to be falling out in a hurry. In fact, to take it out of there requires a considerable amount of effort, so certainly a decently well made and substantial piece of equipment. So I've got there that heavy duty plug and socket, and I had a quick look and I couldn't find a great deal of information about these. There was a place in the US actually who was selling some of these, but they were actually used and they were of a smaller rating, so I didn't get very far. Certainly the logo on the front there is ML, so if anyone's got any further information about these, such as sort of when they were made or other sort of types of things within the range, then do put those in the comments section below. So until next time, thanks for watching.